Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. This is Barefoot Mama Intuitive Reading. So this is for whenever you come across it for the next week. I hope you had a good vacation if you are seeing this after Memorial Day and if you took a vacation. Thanks for being here. Nice. So if you want to enter to win a free reading, you can put free reading in the comments. That's how I search um, the comments for the entries. So just the words free reading will do, and I'll announce the winner on 6/6. You can also book a personal with me on my Etsy, donate via Cash App, or join my Patreon. I've unlocked all of the readings in Patreon for any paid user, and the only membership there is $5.55 a month. So that's an option as well if you'd like to explore some more like sort of, I feel like they're more spiritual readings, or more like esoteric things. Anyway, I'm being drawn to pull a card from the Universal Truths for you to get your overall energy. Connection. And it came out kind of sideways, or it wanted to. When we thirst our human desires, that's interesting. We lose our connection to our higher self. There are 5 dimensions of the human soul: the body, emotions, mind, spirit, and the highest, cosmic unity. When we connect with the higher dimensions, we are able to understand wisdoms that would otherwise be unknowable to us. Seeing our world from a different perspective, we let go of people, places, and things that do not serve the greatest good. Do not serve the greatest good. Sorry. We develop a dedication to our own impeccability, thus allowing the celestial forces to reach others through us. These spiritual frequencies create a higher evolution for ourselves and all of mankind. Wonderfully, cosmic unity is the end result. Connection with a higher power is like electricity, ever present, but we have to plug in to receive its benefits. All right, Leo, so you're being called to connect with your higher self here. What's going on with you? I was also drawn to pull from the Mystical Shaman Oracle for you, and I consider this deck really lovely for spiritual, like, purposes, for spiritual messages. So you might be having an awakening of some sort, or just really, yeah, I don't know. I feel like whenever an awakening occurs in my life, the things around me feel chaotic or like they're sort of falling apart. That, or it's the opposite. I'm like in a flow state and everything just kind of unfolds and it's magical. And I think the difference between those two is our resistance. And sometimes our resistance comes in the form of like addictions or habits or patterns that keep us in our ego's like flow, basically, that keep us out of like flow state and put us in like boxes. So you might be breaking your routine right now, opening yourself up to new experiences. The Luminous Warrior reverse, card number 32. You might be 32 years old. Your birthday might be the 2nd, the 3rd, or the 5th of August. The Luminous Warrior. I'm going to read the reversal for this card. Here's what it looks like. With the Luminous Warrior reverse, and then this light is in his sacral chakra, or in between his sacral and his solar plexus, like the spleen, you might be experiencing some like depression, some anger, some darkness. This person lives in darkness. He's surrounded by moons and shadows, and there's this like reflection aspect or duality here. There's 2 dark moons and 2 light moons, as above so below. Something here about the number 5 stands out for you as well. Big changes. Again, it was mentioned in the connection card, and 3 and 2 add to 5. Let's read this, and then we'll dive in with the tarot, I think. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable. That is the 2nd time that word came up. Impeccable. in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. Are you being tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? When we thirst our human desires, we lose our connection to our higher self. Big messages coming through here for you, Leo. Like two different decks, similar messages. Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with somebody? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than for war. Wow. Spirit speaks. I love tarot. Let's see. What's this about? I think because of the energy of the transmutation, in this luminous warrior card, like turning enemies into friends or allies, as well as the whole like transcending the baser desires for cosmic connection. I'm going to use the La Santa Muerte tarot. La Santa Muerte is the patron saint of the disenfranchised, people who live in liminal spaces or on the outer edges of society in some way, shape, or form. And all of these, I use these cards a lot of the times for like Scorpio readings for transmutation. So what are you transmuting? It's a lot of cards, but we'll go for it. Okay, compassion, strength. This is you. You're transmuting how you feel about yourself. Death, you might be dealing with a Scorpio. Death reverse, Five of Cups reverse, both Scorpio cards. The Fool reverse, the Page of Pentacles reverse. Okay. You are avoiding change right now, is what this is telling me. There's some sort of blockage, and it has to do with maybe a resistance to connecting with your higher self. Again, you could be in like patterns in your life that are comfortable and structured and keep you on the straight and narrow, but you're being called to step outside your comfort zone here. I think the reason you don't want to do this is because Five of Cups reversed, La Santa Muerte, the Death card reversed, is because of the process of transmutation is uncomfortable. Like letting go is uncomfortable. Release, right? I always think of, especially with her here, La Santa Muerte, I always think of the birthing process here. And she's got this big scythe, she's pregnant, and there's a crib below. So death leading into life, right? That is the premise of this card. You don't want to put an end to what needs to come to an end, essentially. And I don't blame you. That's not an easy process. It's not a comfortable one. I'm being drawn to move on to the regular tarot after clarifying this side and this side. The Queen of Cups could be, again, dealing with a water sign, or somebody has offered their heart to you. Strength. The Fool reversed, the Page of Pentacles reversed. I don't know. I'm getting this feeling that somebody sees you in a way that like you don't see yourself. And it, instead of like learning to see yourself that way, you're just like, I'm just going to keep being me. I don't want like the shakeup. I don't want the transmutation. I don't want to connect on the higher plane. If you've had multiple awakenings, right? Like you know it's an uncomfortable process, and there's a part of you that does not want this. With the Fool reverse and the Page of Pentacles reverse, like you know that it's going to involve more learning, more lessons in the 3D, and it's a new beginning. And you might be like kind of comfortable right now. You might be like in a place where, and I think that's okay. I think you're offering yourself compassion as well right now, where you're just like, you know what, I don't want to be on the journey right now. Like I just want to chill. I just want to like eat some good food, have some good company, you know, like stabilizing my job, my career, like I don't know. you're not wanting to like accept some sort of destiny where your actions and your deeds are impeccable through the lens of this like connection to spirit. There's something here. What is this that's blocking the Hangman reverse? A shift in perspective. There's a shift in perspective that is happening or did happen in Pisces season perhaps, and it's like subconsciously or even very consciously you're aware of it and you're still like, no, I'm not ready for that. The Hangman is an interesting card to come up here too, because in the runes that I have here, it says Odin sacrificed himself to himself. He sacrifices, was it Odin? Yeah, to get the knowledge of the runes. He sacrifices his ego self to his higher self to gain the knowledge of the runes. And the Hangman, I always associate with Odin, right? Because he's hanging on a tree specifically to gain the knowledge of the runes. In fact, in um the light, oh my god, no way, in the Light Seers tarot, I just picked it up and that's the first card. No way, that was incredible. I'm gonna just pull it out here for confirmation. We'll move to this deck. That was, I don't know, the synchronicities in your reading are just bonkers right now, and I feel like you're probably experiencing this and kind of telling the universe like, no, back off, like I don't want this, I don't want this, I'm not ready. Like that's the feeling I'm getting. And it's so weird, I think, because I feel like Leos, you're so, when you're ready to do something, you take action. You're the King of Wands. You're confident. Your strength, right? You're confident, and you know when to be vulnerable. You know when to be receptive. I have a feeling that whatever this perspective change is, that's going to allow you to embrace this emotional change and this transformation and this rebirth, is going to put you in a place where you are so open and vulnerable that you don't recognize yourself, like you don't have anything to fall back on, um except for your connection with spirit, right? It's like the ultimate leap of faith and you're like, fuck no, excuse my language, but that's like where you're at right now. Wow, this reading is so cool. If it's resonating, please like the video. It helps my channel grow and I really appreciate it. I like to hear your comments too, hear back from people how this is resonating with you. Okay, so your advice is the Ace of Swords. Embrace the truth, see clearly. Don't let your mind get the better of you either. You can call on Archangel Michael, who rules this card, if that resonates with you. Also, the truths here are these like spiritual symbols all up here in the ethers, right? With the Nautilus. This raven or crow, to me, it sometimes indicates, birds indicate messages from spirit, but it also reminds me of Hermes Trismegistus, who was like the alchemist, right? You're an alchemist. And he may be trying to connect with you as like a guide. I believe Hermes also, he's associated with Thoth, but I believe he also created remedies, like healing remedies, language, math. He brought all kinds of like beautiful arts to humanity. What's the Page of Pentacles reversed in the outcome? The Knight of Cups reversed. Are you afraid that your love offer is going to be rejected by somebody and you're going to be left penniless? That's what, wow. Also though, oh my gosh, look. So this Knight of Cups has these winged shoes on like Hermes. In there's that Disney show. It was also a book series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, this is exactly what Hermes shoes look like. They're Converse with wings on them. Are you getting love messages from spirit? And you're like, no, spirit, like I'm not ready to learn new lessons yet. I'm not there. I'm not up for the task. Okay, so why the resistance? I feel like you know, and I also feel like you're sort of playing this monkey mind game with your, between your ego and your higher self, where you're like, you're almost gaslighting yourself, like I don't know, but you do unconsciously, subconsciously, Like you do. And I feel like you have this very strong intuition of what this blockage is. What is it? Wow. Happiness, your wish fulfillment. I just watched this show on Netflix called Baby Reindeer, and I won't give it away for you. It's really good, and it's kind of traumatizing at the end. Um, Comes to a good resolution. It was really well done, but he talks about just how he's addicted to hating himself, to like the process of self improvement, to just because of the things that he's been through. It's like he can't forgive himself, even though they're things that other people did to him. There's some feeling here like you're not good enough for this happiness and this wish fulfillment, especially emotionally, because like it wasn't offered to you or given to you or shown to you. I'm getting this really tender, soft, like just wanting to overflow with tears feeling, like release, right? The process of release is coming through again. I think you're avoiding this like this process of releasing like the need to operate in a meritocracy in order to be emotionally fulfilled. Everybody deserves emotional fulfillment. You don't have to be good enough. You don't have to be like better than you are, right? You are a human being. You're connected with the divine. You're a reflection of the divine, and you're aligned with the divine. You deserve divinity. You deserve to be treated with divine respect, I'm hearing, and love. So, this is the blockage going towards your wish fulfillment, opening your heart space as well. She's in a heart opening pose, and she is in a heart opening pose. And then she has this halo around her, right? And so does this hangman. The hangman is in a storm as he's receiving his knowledge, right? It reminds me of the Buddha underneath the, was it a fig tree? I think it was a fig tree. Sometimes it's underneath the hood of a cobra or the naga. Um, but you sit through the storm, and the storm that's going on around you, it's like pressurizing the essence of you so that all the all of what isn't is like swept away like a tornado. You're like in the eye of this tornado, and everything that's not grounded enough is just kind of like this nautilus, right? You're this light. You're receiving this light coming through clearly. What's the Knight of Cups reverse? Six of Pentacles, yeah. Equal give and take. It's about self-worth as well. Like today in yoga, one of the like closing remarks from the teacher was you give what you put in. And quite often that's the case. But not always. Sometimes we receive blessings, we receive miracles. Sometimes we put out negativity and we receive back kindness, and it's those moments where the flow changes, right? Like the input changes. And we talked a little bit about anger here with the luminous warrior. Like if you're struggling with anger, especially about the people around you, this connection doesn't necessarily have to be just to spirit, right? It can also talk about your connections with others, because of course connecting with others is connecting with spirit. If all is one and one is all, which is the meaning of this sort of like infinity symbol on this card here. You're understanding how what you put in comes back to you, and you're also understanding that your consciousness is allowing you discernment. You've done enough inner work at this point that you can use your discernment to change the input. Connection with a higher power is like electricity, ever present, but we have to plug in to receive its benefits. So it's like, instead of choosing anger, instead of choosing sadness, instead of choosing what it is you've been choosing, you have an opportunity to see things clearly, to step up out of your ego, to connect to spirit, and to move forward. What are you moving forward with? I'm being drawn to read the Knight of Cups in the reverse for this card, because sometimes there are messages that are very specific that I don't. Oh, I'm in touch with my emotions. Missing the signs, protecting your heart, not being open to love. A player, a jealous partner, moodiness, sulking, negative emotions, blocking your progress, disappointment. Whoa. There's some big emotional block in your heart space, Leo. We'll pull one more in the Six of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, wounded warrior. Probably because somebody took and took and took and took and took. And it could have been spirit, right? Spirit could have been like, we're balancing out your karma from the last 4 generations, and this is what you're dealt. This is the hand you're dealt right now. You got this. Run the gauntlet. And you did, and you're still like, yo, I've been doing this spiritual work for like my whole life, and it just keeps getting harder. Like, what the hell, spirit? Like, what's going on? I will tell you from my own experience that when we hit this point of transmutation from a place of just deep emotional wounding, um the fire, when we rekindle it, it's bright and it's clear, like this Ace of Swords, because again, everything's been taken out, everything's been cleared away, everything's been swept up by the wind. I'm seeing the murk in this like Five of Cups, and then there's leaves blowing in the wind. I don't really know if you can see it here. And his mind is like a maze. What is strength in the Queen of Cups? Justice. Okay. The Star reversed. You might feel like somebody you're involved with or were involved with is getting their just desserts. But in the same way that you're sort of seeing this for them, like what you're realizing, it's actually like also hurting you somehow. It's like wishing this on somebody else actually, like, it reveals a part of you to yourself that you wish you didn't have. Because the only reason this part of you is there is because there's some key to your wish fulfillment within it. No way. 3 different decks. The Hanged Man 3 times. The Hangman upright is being able to see things from a new perspective. You have it upright here, reversed, which is upright, right? Because he's standing up. You're enlightened. You've been through the pain, the sacrifice, the challenge. You're seeing things from a new perspective. You're setting clear boundaries. You're able to use peace and prayer and the opening of this crown chakra, this connection with spirit, right? To face what needs to be faced, to say what needs to be said, and to do so with grace, poise, and clarity. So you are opening to this crown chakra awakening. And I think you may even be kind of telling spirit, like, this is what I'm ready for right now. Like, you're connecting to spirit in a way that's allowing you to, like, regulate the flow, like the input of energy, essentially, so you're not completely burnt out or diminished. The same thing with your relationships with other people. You're able to set boundaries with other people so that you can protect your emotional happiness. Your Nine of Cups. There's something here where you potentially really enjoy your independence with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Nine of Cups here. Page of Pentacles reversed is the Two of Wands reversed. You might want to move. You might want to go somewhere or move. And the only thing that's holding you back right now is like your finances. Potentially because somebody took them from you, like drained your bank account. Somebody you were involved with. The Queen of Swords can also be a divorcee, so you may be divorced and having to like pay somebody out or give them half or whatever. But you will recover from this and things will come back into balance with the Six of Pentacles. What else? Six of Cups reversed. No more nostalgia, no more worrying about the past. Letting go of like that emotional that fear of emotional fulfillment that came up in your reading earlier. The fear of emotional fulfillment from some sort of latent subconscious inner child, like that wasn't given like emotional fulfillment when you were a kid. You know, it's not something that you come into the world with consciously. And if anything, it's these are the things that we do strive to suppress, and the things that still sort of end up ironically guiding us forward. I'm being reminded of Zootopia, you know, when the fox, if you've seen that movie, the fox like wants to join the Boy Scouts and he gets muzzled instead, and it's like super traumatizing for him, and it sort of like colors his choices for the rest of his life about who he is and what he can be and how he can operate in the world. And even though from some outsider's perspective it might seem like a small thing given that much energy, just in the spirit of avoidance over time becomes the thing, the big thing, the one thing. And so I'm getting that this is your opportunity to transmute that finally. And it's a huge relief. It is a huge release, a huge relief, just a big clearing out, letting go, and it's awesome. It feels really, really good. But it's that initial leap of faith that is difficult here. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Devil reversed. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? And the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Getting out of analysis paralysis, because you're no longer like dealing with this devil energy, like you've overcome it. This could also be like workaholism with the Seven and Eight of Pentacles and the Devil all reversed. Overcoming workaholism. Like you might be a workaholic. You might work a lot to avoid feeling emotionally fulfilled. That's so odd. It's not odd necessarily in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying the way the message came through was odd. People do that all the time. I'm certainly guilty of doing that. Anything else? I'm being drawn. You've made your decision. Wow, you're moving forward. The Chariot, and like with gusto. Oh, you can see it. Okay, great. You're over this. You're like, yeah, I'm going for it. In typical Leo fashion, once again. This is weird, out of your element, watery, Neptunian, ethereal, like adding your fire to this energy is just creating mist. And I see you walking through darkness in the mist, just like nothing is permeating this. I'm walking blind, spirit, show me the way. And even though you have all this resistance to it and you're like, no, anything but this, you do it, you do it, and you go through it. And there's a little part of you with this Nine of Wands that turns around and goes, yes, I did it. Like you see her face, like, look at me, bitches, I did it. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. Like, whoever you are, maybe you curse a lot. But like, I just see you turning back on the situation and being like, uh-huh, yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, she fucking did. Um, and you just move on with decisive, like even aggressive, but like enthusiastic action. And that is awesome. So Leo, I really love this reading for you. If it resonates, again, please remember to like the video. It helps my channel grow. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.